Hi, would you tell us your name?
My name is Carla.
Carla, you had to face something very tough with your stepdad. Would you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Well, with my stepdad, we lived in Missouri, down in the Ozarks, a little country town. My mom met a man when I was maybe 5 years old, and he courted her till I was 6.5. They got married when I was 6.5.
Okay.
He threw us in a 57 black Chevy two-door, hauled us to California, and we had to live on turkey farms the majority of the 2 years that we were prisoned. The man portrayed being a Christian until my mom said, I do. Then we got to California, we seen who the real him was. He was not a Christian, he was a devil worshiper. They held devil occult meetings in the backs of these turkey farms where they would come and do their thing with the altars and all that. And anything I did, I got beat for it. I wasn't allowed to speak to nobody, no neighbors, no nothing. There was one neighbor by one turkey farm, and I spoke and got beat with cast iron skillets, belt buckles, and irons from my head to my heels.
So being a young girl and being abused by your stepdad, being beaten by him, what did you think when that was going on?
At the time, I didn't know because I had never known nothing like that because I came from a small town of 350-something people when I was born. So I wasn't used to, nothing big or nothing wrong happening because I lived with my mom and me lived with my grandmother and my grandfather, where I was born in my grandmother's home. And so when this happened, it was like, oh my God. And then I kept getting beat so much that I couldn't take it no more, so I started creating other people, and tell them to take my punishment. Because if I went out and I would dust in a car gets dirty and builds up dust, and I would draw in it, I got beat for that. With firewood. And then it was like, because me and my mother wouldn't succumb and practice with their occult meetings, we'd get beat for that.
You had said that later in life you were diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. Do you think part of that came from the abuse as a child, and what has that experience been
I could
like
almost
for you?
guarantee that would be where it came from, the personalities. Now, when it comes to the bipolar, that might have been hereditary because I had an aunt that had mental problems, one of my mother's sisters. So that could have been hereditary, the mental part, but the personalities, I'm quite sure. I'd almost guarantee.
Are there different ones that they've identified what are the different personalities that you
They've
have?
identified like a cantankerous person, where I like to tease people, and at one time I remember having a car and I had Brumhilda Returns, and I drew a witch and I had her in the back window. And that was Hilda. She was a cantankerous, old witchy one that tried to get rid of everybody that was bad. Then there's one that I have blackouts. And I don't know what I do when I become her. There's a lot of blanks in my life. To this day. I'll be 54 this month. And I still have blanks that are not filled.
So there's those two personalities. Are there any others that you know of, or those are the main?
Yes, there's more. There's one that I one time was going through old paperwork and I found drawings of clothing designs. And I never wanted to be a clothing designer personally, but they were signed by Tara. So I believe Tara is one of my others. She likes to design clothes. I know there was a Mary Elizabeth. She liked to be Miss Prim and Proper. And I had a psychotherapist help me, rationalize them all together. At times I can remember who they all were, and at times I don't.
What would you say to someone, you've obviously been through a lot of heavy things in your life, you're doing well today. How would you tell someone if they're going through, whether it's a mental problem or they're being abused, what would you tell them about being able to handle what they face?
My way, I would probably try to give them advice of how I went through of handling things, but I would also advise them to sort it out for their own self, to search deep in their soul. And me, I've always believed guardian angels were protecting me. And I'd look up and I would sit and just talk to the sky, to my guardian angels. You know, and I tell people, and I talk to people all the time on the bus when I see them going through things or something, and I tell them, you know, there's a way out. I don't know what your way out is, but if you sit and soul search and just sit and maybe talk to the sky, like you're talking to angels or Jesus or whoever you might want to say is up there above us.
So religion and spirituality helped you a lot.
Yes.
Having belief. Did you say that you'd been baptized?
Yes, I got baptized June 14th, 2009.
And was that helpful for you?
It was very helpful because I've been searching for my daughter too. I was a 15-year-old runaway when I was forced to place my child in adoption. So it led me to a street life because I pretty much gave up on life when, you know, I had to face what I faced. It was too much for me once again. So I ran to the streets, lived a street life for so many years. So I also tell people, you know, that I see living street lives. You know, there's a way out. You just gotta, you know, it might be spiritual. You talk to the sky. You know, like I said before, mine is always, I talk to the sky. And I get spiritual feelings inside. And it guides me to where I need to be. You know, and today, I'm doing pretty good. Considering, you know, my life.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I think you're an inspiration, and I hope things continue to get better for you.
I do too. And I hope if this can help somebody, I hope that it will. You know, in true faith, I do. But faith and spirituality is a lot. And you gotta have faith. That's the main thing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay.